Hello everybody. This image is derived from a YouTube video I watched by a YouTuber called Q Innovations. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a moment here and I'm going to flip back to the image. This is a screenshot from the video. This is the original engine. This is what I'm starting with here. And just for reference, this is a flat image. It's an animation. There is nothing 3D about it, and the imagery is, well, it is what it is. At any rate, going to flip back to my SketchUp model here. This is a modeling I made of it based on. You probably recognize the case from some of the other engines, or maybe even the Constantinesco torque converter. It's kind of a common platform that I go with. But I want to explain some changes I made here. This is a 9-inch rotor, much bigger than the one pictured in the original video. And I am, this is just the starting point for this. I'm not sure if I'm even going to finish it because I wanted to kind of go over what would be workable and unworkable about this engine. I've replaced the popping valves with a couple of Saunders type rotary valves. This is not going to be a really high powered engine, so I don't think you want to lose 25% of the power with poppet valves and valve springs. And you have the other valves here, which I would probably have worked with a swing arm, and they're lifted by this rotor. You might actually want to look at the original video, because the animation will show you how this works. But basic overview of the operation of the engine. This engine needs one revolution for all 4 parts of the combustion cycle. In other words, this needs to rotate around once for intake, once for compression, once for power, and once for exhaust. Now, as you can imagine, if an engine has to rotate 1,080 degrees to get to a power cycle after it clears the exhaust cycle, it's not going to make a whole lot of power. But interestingly enough, if I decide to go further with this, I got to thinking you could lower or reduce the width of this rotor to a 1/2 inch, which would make it 125 cc's, and have 4 rotors. And with every rotation of the engine, at least one rotor would be firing. In effect, what this engine would be like, I want you to imagine an engine, a piston engine, with a 1/2 inch bore and a 30-inch stroke. Why would you make an engine like that? Well, one advantage of that would be with that super long stroke and a relatively low cylinder volume, boy, you sure would get a complete burn on the ignition cycle. You got plenty of motion, so in effect, you'd have a 4-cylinder, it would be like having a horizontally or a 4-cylinder piston engine with, like I said, 1/2 inch bore, 30-inch stroke, and 360-degree crank offsets, if you can imagine that. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. If this video generates some interest, I might go a little bit further with this. But I thought I'd show how you could take a flat animated animation image and you can create a 3D model with it and bring it a little bit closer to reality. Like I said, any questions, comments, put them in the comments, and we'll see you next time.